Captain Marvel is the latest film in the Marvel MCU universe, and it stars Brie Larson as a title character. And in the film, she plays a Kree warrior who needs to come back to Earth and find this powerful energy core. And she is in a race to find this powerful energy source with the Skrulls, who are the enemy in this intergalactic war. And the Skrulls have the ability to shapeshift into any form that they want. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Marvel movies, but Captain America is pretty seriously flawed, and there's several reasons why. First of all, I think it stems on Brie Larson. Now, Brie Larson is no doubt a talented actress. I thought she was fantastic in Room. But, you know, quite honestly, in all of her other films, I just didn't think she was all that great in other films I've seen her at. And when I found out that she was cast as Captain Marvel, I was like, ooh, really? You want to pick her? Okay, let's just see how that works out. And then I saw the trailers, and they didn't really convince me that she was the right pick, because she just doesn't really display any real personality or charm in the trailers anyway. So I thought, okay, maybe the trailers are just as one small 1-2 minute tidbit. Let's see how she does as she carries the whole film. So I came in with an open mind. I wanted her to succeed because I want Marvel films to do well. But you know what, man, her performance is just so flat. It's so flat, it's so wooden. She doesn't carry any charm. She doesn't exude any charisma. It's like she felt that she had to be this really strong female superpower character, and what that meant was that she couldn't show any emotion, she couldn't show any vulnerability, and that really hurt her performance. I'm not sure if that was an acting choice or a directing choice or just how the character was written, but I have to believe that a lot of the fault lies with her, because in other films with very strong, stoic characters that are similar, just like, for example, Charlize Theron's character in Mad Max, you know, she was able to bring a persona to that character and make her very identifiable, make her very personable, even though she was a very strong warrior like Captain Marvel is, and very stoic as well, but at least she had a personality and you could really relate to her and root for her character. Whereas Brie Larson in this movie, you know, she's very, like I said, very flat, very wooden throughout. It shows very little emotion. There are a few moments where she tries to implement a little bit of sarcasm, a little jokey kind of wink and a nod, but she just doesn't quite have that ability to pull it off. And I don't know, I just felt like she was reading lines from a script for a lot of the film and not really being this person who she's supposed to be. You know, when your main character cannot be believed, cannot be related to, cannot be rooted for, that's a huge problem, and that's where I think the major problem with this film lies. But beyond that, I have to blame the directing team as well. I'm not quite familiar with the previous works of this directing team, but there are a lot of choices in this film that I just kind of just question. First of all, the editing was very off in some moments. We're like, from one cut to the next, like, how did that happen? And I really hated the fact that a lot of this film's action scenes took place in such dark and gloomy environments. I mean, let's try to see what's going on. Show us all the action in a clear way. And this is the fault of many films nowadays, where they don't really know how to pull the action off or execute it in a good way. So they just kind of darken it, so you have a hard time seeing what's going on. And I think in all the action scenes in this movie, in fact, they're all set in either the dark or a gloomy area in a spaceship or in space. So you have a really hard time seeing what's going on and who's doing what. And it just kind of like, at some point, I just kind of like, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna wait till this scene is over. Hopefully something cool comes out of it, but nothing never really did. So the action scenes are just kind of blah. You don't really know what's going on. The choreography, the quick cutting as usual, it just doesn't work. The writing is the writing of how they introduce the character is very convoluted, and they chose a very complex way to show her background and show her origin, and I just don't think it worked. The whole first half of the movie or so, you're trying to figure out who Captain Marvel Carol Danvers is, and while she's trying to figure it out herself. So, but the way they did it, with all these little flashbacks and quick cuts, and like, it just didn't really work for me. And I don't really mean to slam on Brie Larson, but the whole film, she was just kind of had this condescending, arrogant, bitchy attitude about her, and I'm not quite sure why. And you know, she just, it's like, damn girl, just calm down, try to have some fun with this movie, but she's being so serious and just looking down on everybody. I mean, sometimes literally, like, kind of had this look like this. And then the way she delivered her lines, like, just listen to this line in the trailer.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
I didn't expect this war, but I'm gonna end it, like, for real. You know, like, it's just so ridiculous. And the cat in the movie had much more personality than her. And to me, the cat is actually one of the true stars of the film. Besides the cat, Samuel Jackson was great. The CGI to de-age his face was really well done. And after like a scene or two, just kind of forgot about it. Just kind of took it for granted, like, okay, this is young Samuel Jackson, so that CGI was perfectly done. Jude Law was good as Captain Marvel's trainer in the Kree army, and Ben Mendelsohn, who is like the go-to bad guy nowadays. He was a bad guy in Ready Player One, he was a bad guy in Rogue One, and he's a bad guy here in Captain Marvel, and he brings a lot of personality to a character who really shouldn't have it as a Skrull villain, but he really makes him, you know, a person that you can really relate to and really try to understand what their motivation is. So he did a really great job. There were some other choices as well that I didn't think really connected. The music in the film, some of them were kind of clever, some are just kind of obvious. The film is set in the 90s, so of course they're gonna feature a lot of 90s music, and the songs that they chose were, yeah, really popular songs from the day, but there's this one particular scene, like, oh really? That is like such the obvious choice for this movie, and that kind of goes along with all the writing in the film. They have these jokes splattered throughout the movie, and some of them work, and there are sometimes where I chuckled, but you know, the jokes, the level of wittiness and being clever in the jokes was, again, pretty obvious. The jokes, they weren't anything really smart or clever, like the stuff that you would see in Guardians of the Galaxy or even any Avengers movie. You know, and you can't help but to compare this film to the other Marvel films like the Avengers or Captain America Civil War. I mean, those films had like these epic battle scenes, and it was in pure daylight. You could see every little thing that was going on, whereas in Captain Marvel you can't see shit, which I hated. This film again is going to get compared to Wonder Woman, obviously, because of a strong female character, and in Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot was able to make her character really emotionally vulnerable and make her very real and had a charisma and personality to her character, whereas Brie Larson did nothing of that sort in this movie. So man, it's just so hard to really like this film. It tries really hard, I'll give it that, but the execution is seriously lacking. So for me, Captain Marvel gets a 5 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching my review. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel MC on Film for more movie reviews in the future.